Hey, Annie. So here we are. We're going to pretend that we are in a technical coding interview, and I've got a question for you, and I just want to know how you would break down this question to start to answer it if you were actually in a technical interview. The question is, what is a key prop in React, and what is the benefit of using it in arrays of elements?
Okay, so I know that in React, if you do something without a key prop, React will yell at you, like number one. So it's a really good idea to have keys. And what keys are, they is that React requires each um, component or like instance of the component, I suppose, to have unique keys. And the keys can be like one, two, three, or something that is generated in another way. And those help React to keep tabs on them, I guess, or something. I'm not like sure the reason exactly, but I do know that that's how they use like React needs keys basically for the different instances to keep track of it. And sorry, the second part was something about arrays.
What is the benefit of using it in an array? In an array of elements, which I think is referring to like if you map uh, an array.
Right, right. Okay. So we know that React likes to keep track of everything that's going on in the virtual DOM, basically. And by having keys, and I'm kind of, thinking this through and talking it out loud in my head, but I think the benefit of that is that if you wanted to, for example, like say you had an array and you're mapping through a list of like to-dos and you have like different things to do and you wanted to then delete one, you can probably refer to that specific key and then remove that um, your to-do list. And I think that's like one of the things but then the key would still be associated with that particular instance, maybe. I'm probably getting this wrong, but I do know that it will keep track of like each specific iteration of the elements in the array, I believe.
Based on my understanding of
But I can
React,
Google that.
that's my next question. If somebody asked you this question, how would you actually find the definite answer?
I would Google it 100%.
Awesome.
And then if I really needed to know it, I after I Google it, I would like try to keep like thinking about it and like how would I explain it to somebody else. So yeah,
And
and just like break it down to smaller and smaller, easier to understand bits.
yeah, um, in your experience, some interview questions are like super obscure, abstract knowledge that's very impractical. Some interview questions are like actually about like relatively practical things that you kind of have to know for your job.
Hmm.
So like on the scale of like wildly impractical to like pretty practical, where would you rate this question?
I would say it probably falls somewhere in the middle. Yeah, it's not wildly impractical because it is used, and but do you need to know it before going into the job? Yes, it's very helpful, and but you would probably learn it on the job as well as it comes up because, like I mentioned, React will yell at you for not having it,
And then you'll Google it and you'll add it.
and then you will Google it exactly.
Cool.